again, welcome to another video. Back in the conservatory, well, first time I've been in the conservatory, so I bought eBay pickup, Super Nintendo. So this one was stated as untested, so I ain't even going to bother testing it. I think I'm just going to do my usual repairs, what I used to do back in the day. So I'm going to change the fuse on it, we're going to clean the contacts on the cartridge port, and we'll recap it at the same time. So yeah, so it's not bad condition, not bad colour, it's just like front edge, this panel here, which is generally one of the bits, it's either this or this bit that goes yellow, so it's not in bad condition. So let's get inside it, and hopefully when you undo the first screw, you have to crack it and pop it, that you know no one's been in it. So I have got a Super Famicom I've had for about 4 years that I want to repair, and someone's been in that, someone's tried to mod it and it's not done a very good job on it. But so yeah, let's get to it. So back in the dining room, and yeah, let's start cracking this bad boy open. So it's got, I ain't done the Super Nintendo for a long time repairing it, but I can generally remember. So I've got the special bits in here, which is that one. Yeah, so it's this, you can see that, I'll get to the camera, that section, like a hexagonal kind of one, or so like an octagon really. Right. Hopefully all these screws should be the same, they normally are. Well, it makes sense if you manufacture something to make generally a lot of the screws the same, because you can't go wrong then, can you? Right. I'm hoping this is all okay inside. Oh, it's a bit funky actually. Right, let's put this to one side. Yeah, it's a bit funky actually. Yeah, dusty. Not too bad. So let me just get all this dust out. I get on the floor and I'll hoover it up later. Oh, some light dust ball there. Right, so the first thing I'll do is just take that bit out, get a Phillips or posi, and we'll take the power switch off, because that normally gets in the way. That's off, that unclips. So you just basically unscrew that power switch, and it basically unclips here. It's just the cable should just pop up nice. There you go, that's off. Yeah, so that there, so we've got to get this heat shielding off really. So I tell you what, let's get this out first. There we go. So that's out. That's the your spring mechanism. I always loved that as a kid. I thought it was brilliant. So we've got to get this heat shielding off first. So you've got that there, this little square thing here, which looks like a big transistor. That is your power regulator. So what we'll do is got to unscrew that off the heat sink, and then there's a couple more screws, but they're on the other side of the board that you have to take off. So let's get that off. Right, so that's the heat sink screw. It's got like a little, I don't know what you call it, like a little dog underneath it, like a tooth washer underneath it. So put that there, that's the heat sink. We'll take the ones out for the holding the board down. That's holding the board down. Then also you've got another RF shield. So that's your heat sink, disperses heat from the power and everything, and the chips and everything. And this is this here, it's actually heat sink, and this is your RF shield, which you don't really have to put back on. Not nowadays. So I put all the screws. I like to put all the screws in certain places and lose the place, so I don't forget. You can actually get a bit of cardboard, draw it out, and just poke them through the cardboard. I've done that before. Yeah, I don't think these. I'm not sure of these. I don't think they have been out before, these screws. Right, so that heat sink should come off now. Put that over there. I don't think I want to put that back on. Give that a bit of a brush, and I will get it all out afterwards. Right, so another screws down the back here. So there's 2 more down there, and that's where the all your power stuff comes out the back. And it looks like there's one screw at the back holding the board down there. So we'll get that out as well. And that should hopefully come out in a second. Right then, a bit longer then. There you go. Turn upside down, get them screws out. So we'll do that, put them in order, and that. So yeah, all right. Never put this, never put your circuit board down on a fabric base, because you can build up a static charge if you keep moving it around. And basically, what you're meant to ground yourself as well, really. But I ain't done this in a while, so it should be all right. But I'll get this all on the floor, get rid of that later, all that dust. Get the hoover on it. Oh, lost something. That goes just there, that does. So that fell out of there, so you can just screw down, that is. Alright, get all that dust out. Right, yeah, that looks good. Put that to one side now. And then what we've got to do now is take, so that basically is a Super Nintendo there. So you can't see any caps yet, because all the caps are fortunately underneath here, the heatsink. So the heatsink's on the other side, look, so. Well, this ain't been off before. Right, so that is your heatsink off. So that can go to one side as well. That's the first thing to go back on. So that is basically the Super Nintendo board. So your heat sinks off. And it does look pretty cool in here, actually. Little, it's not oh, there's a bit of leakage there, I think. And then some caps there is a bit of leakage. So I'd have to get a bit of white vinegar on that, I think, and just neutralise it, which I've got some in my cupboard over there. So there's a few caps there. There's a little cap down here as well. Yeah, we're back. I've got my cap list up, so there's websites you can go and get a cap list, so you can, because it'll say on here like C65, 66, but you could pop the cartridge port off as well. So what I might do first is give this a good clean, I think, first. So I've got some contact cleaner. Let's give that a good clean. Let's get some cotton buds as well. A lot of crap around there. Yeah, look at that. All in the contacts. Disgusting. So that should be that clean. Let's get it in here as well. And that should just pop back on. Yeah, so that's back on. Right. What I might do is take that off, put it to one side. And then it gives us a bit more elbow room to be capping. So we'll go to the cap list. So I've got to find the right board here. So it's SNSP CPU01. So it's an SNSP. So SNSP CPU01. Okay, alright, so that's it. So if we go to this cap first, C73, and that is, get the caps out, that is 47 microfarads, 16 volts. So 47, there you go, that one there. So not that one, this one. 47 microfarads, 16 volts. Just get some snips. Need them. Right. Okay, so let's take this one off now. These are quite corroded, so I normally just, because there's a bit of corrosion, wiggle them, and they normally just snap off. There, it's come off. So that's one off. So that's basically this one. Right, so that's the positives that side. So positives that side. Right, let's just snip this leg on this. Let's just see how, because you have to check where that's heatsink is. That goes there, doesn't it? That's plenty of room on that. So snap these legs off. I'll put them there. Got the soldering iron. Well, I'll tell you what I need to do first. Just cut it here a second. I'm back. So yeah, so it's got some white vinegar. So what I'm going to do is get a nice clean cotton bud. And we're just going to clean around here and make sure that it's neutralises any leaking capacitant coming out. And then this can go back on there. Right, get a bit of solder. There you go. Ignite these pads. That's one. That's two. Get a bit on the legs. That's one done. That's another one done. Alright, so that's one in, just there. You just see, just there. So I'll bend that down slightly. That's one down. So let's get to, well, you don't want to see me capping loads, so I'll cut it here and we'll get back to it with it capped, eh? Yeah, so I've done, you see here, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm coming to the 2 here. I've got one off, and I'm getting that one off there, but you can see the leakage on that, just there. So we've got to just get this on here and we'll give it a good clean. This one has leads. Sometimes you do Super Nintendos and they haven't leaked, but most of the time they have with these, because these surface mount ones, they always tend to. There you go, that's off. Right, yeah, that has leaked quite a lot. So it looks like how it normally looks on a Mega CD or something. So let's get some white vinegar on that. I'll get some more in this bowl. Give that, so you've got to neutralise it all really. Give it a clean. Put everything all the way around there, you see, get it all cleaned up. And hopefully it hasn't done too much damage to the tracers. Okay, look at all that, you can see it's a bit greeny. That's all the stuff, the electrolytic fluid. So we had to give it a good clean around there, all around there, because it's leaked all the way around there. So it's them two have leaked. I don't know if it has done a bit of damage there, I'm not sure. It's on that chip as well there, look. Yeah, it's all over it. Right, let's get another one. Cotton buds. Yeah, so just there, look, so that's a lot cleaner now. And hopefully that's got it. It has eaten away at the board a bit there, so hopefully it hasn't eaten through any tracers. I can see where the tracers go, but you'd have to get under a really good camera to have a proper look. But anyway, that's neutralised now. Let's get some solder on it. I've nearly got the caps ready. That's that one done. That's that one done. You've got to be careful with this like this because you can actually lift the pads and it's really bad. That's that one done. Let's cut the cap legs to a length that was acceptable. So it's always good to bring up a list of caps, because on the surface mounted ones sometimes they're quite hard to see what the values are. So I think this one, C60, if you look on here, show you on here, look. So that's the list I've got, and it tells you. So C60 is 10 microfarads, 50 volts, which is this one. So this is the one we'll get on next. Just grease up these legs, just say. Positive to positive. That's one leg. That's the other leg, so we'll bend that out of the way once we're done. So we've cut the other one, haven't we? Yeah. So let's get the other one in. Just get some on these legs. Just want to get a bit of solder on the legs. I'll get positive to positive again. Because if you get them the wrong way around, they pop. And you get a spurning smell. Fuses and that you can do, you know, any way around. That one's done. Oh, that leg's not quite right there. Let's get that over there a bit. See if we can get that there. No, it's not right, that ain't. Right, I've got to bend that over a bit. See if we can get in with the screwdriver. Just got to bend the leg. Just get in the right position. Twist it a bit. That'll do. Right, a bit more solder on that. And then push that down onto it. That's it, that one's done. Right, we'll cut there. That was the worst bit for the. So I've literally just done that one there and this big one here. So yeah, I don't know if you can see that very well. Yeah, so that one and that one I've just done. So that was the worst bit on the board. So I've cleaned it up. So we'll now get back to. I'll let me cap it all, and we'll get back to it all capped. So that's all the caps done on the board. As you can see, all the black ones sticking up. And all I've got to do now is put a fuse in. So I've got a fuse here somewhere. I've got a selection of fuses. So we'll just snip off the one we want. Oh no, it's a little bit more off that. A little bit more off that. Check that. Yeah, that looks good to me almost. That looks good to me. Bit off that one, I think. Well, let's get this soldered up. That one's ready. That one's ready. So it's going to get hot. So I've got some special tweezers, but I can't be asked to get them. So I'm just going to do that. That's one in. Just got to push it down with something. I'll use my thumb, finger. Got asbestos fingers nowadays anyway. Alright. So that's the that's the quick blow fusing just there. You just see it all installed. So what we've got to do now is put the whole thing back together again. Yeah, I tell you what I did notice on this, there was no shielding underneath. There's normally a shielding underneath, so it makes me wonder if someone has been in here before. Oh well, right. Helps if I get it the right way around. I'll tell you what, I might as well put the heatsink back on, haven't I? For all it's worth. Might as well. So that's there. That's there. Switch back on. So that can just clip down into, so basically the switch, it clips in. So we'll clip that in back down in there, which is easy to come out. That's back in. And that's them two screws there. Not that it matters too much because I think a lot of these screws are literally the same size. So you can see all the old caps here. Got them all in my hand. They're all the old caps. Now, only 4 of them was leaking, but it was leaking onto the board, which is not good. Can't remember, was these ones silver down there? Can't remember what them ones. Right. Let's clip this back in. I always hate doing ribbon cables, it's my nemesis. That's in. Right. Right. So that's that. Now let's get the mechanism in. Which I think the mechanism is always a bit of a pain. Yeah, it's just such a pain. It is. I always struggle with this bit, getting it in. That's in there. It's not in at the bottom. That's in the bottom, I think. Yeah, that's it. I think. Yeah, it's just that bit's like the fiddliest bit. Right, so now the top can go back on. Make sure it's powered off. Yeah, it is. And I think that's it. All the screws, yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. Right, that's down. Let's screw it back together. Right, so that's all new fuse. Cartridge port's been cleaned. I'm just going to give it another clean with this and there. Put a cartridge in there a few times. Get the gunk off it like that. Oh, there is a bit. Right, so recapped, new fuse, cartridge port cleaned, all the electrolytic off the board I could see is cleaned off. Now this on the listing says it's untested, so hopefully this fires up. So next time I'll see you, I'll be in the cabin. Right, so in the cabin, got the Super Nintendo here. Just turn that telly on so it's ready to come on. This is my childhood Super Nintendo just here, which is all painted funny colours, which I did back in the day. I totally regret it, but let's see if this one does work. That telly comes on. Right, that's out, that's out. So put that to one side, put the power in. Power's in. Right, that's in. I'll plug the controller in ready, because you know, hopefully it does fire up. That's it, it's been recapped, and if you capped it wrong, so, you know, I've never done it, but you hear a pop. Super Nintendo SNES. Alright, so the power's onto it. Let's get a game. We'll try Mario World. Well, let's check the mechanism still it works. Yeah. So they've got a game in. Wait until the thing about smart TVs, they take ages to fire up, don't they? And hopefully this works. There we go, let's try it. Alright, power's on, which is a good sign. And that's not a good sign. Right, so it's getting a signal. Yeah, it's getting a signal, but let's try another game. Nothing's happening. I'll try this multi-cart. So it's going black, it is getting a signal. Oh, so it's been recapped because it was untested anyway. I think they said it didn't work at all, didn't power on. So it's powering on now, but obviously I've got to investigate it a little bit more. So it's basically a failed repair. So I'd have to say it could be a video chip's gone. It could be that the electrolytic fluid has actually eaten through a trace and thus not working. So yeah, unfortunately, it's a failed repair. But you know, not everything goes to plan. So I'll have to investigate it a bit more and see what I can do. Yeah, so what I might do though with it, I could swap the case of it for that one. So I've got my original motherboard, but the shell is quite nice, isn't it? So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next one. See you later.